Sanctions are once again being advised not to leave their vehicles unattended and to ensure their belongings are secured while shopping in capital Kingstown during the busy Christmas season. Assistant Commissioner of Police Frankie says persons must remember that during the Christmas season a lot more criminals are on the prowl and the persons must protect themselves from unwanted attention. Joseph further explains that leaving valuables in plain sight will only give criminals an incentive to make an attack.
For persons who have to come to Kingston also to shop, do not leave any valuables, in eyesight where someone can just look into your vehicle and see that you have whether a Walkman or iPad or iPhone or a cell phone, lying on the dashboard or on the seat. Ensure that you secure these things, that when someone looked into that vehicle, they would not be able to see these valuables from outside, because it is easier for someone to break into your vehicle if they see valuables in it than to break into it not knowing if there is anything in it. So we are advising the public, the general public, to make sure that they secure themselves, secure their vehicles.
Meanwhile, the Assistant Commissioner of Police is also urging persons to ensure that their homes are properly secured when going out.
So we are advising the public, the general public, to make sure that they secure themselves, secure their vehicles, and if they are leaving at home, when they are leaving at home, to come to Kingston or to go to anywhere and no one will be at home, to ensure that they secure all of their windows, all of their doors. There is a tendency where homeowners would leave like a bathroom window open, because normally a bathroom window is smaller than the ordinary window, thinking that no one will be able to come through that bathroom window. But what has been happening is that these criminals, they would use a young and small person, to go through that small bathroom window. When that person got into the house, they would go and open either a window or the main door, and then the big adults now would go into that house. So ensure that you secure all of the windows, including the bathroom windows.
Meanwhile, ACP Joseph is also reminding persons not to participate in the popular 3-card game that is very famous around the Christmas season. Joseph says the game is always a con, which targets mainly women and young girls.
Around this time, you would have what we call 3 cards players, and they prey on females, young girls who their parents would send to shop, and also female adults. Somehow the other is that the males tend to stay away from these games. The thing is that you cannot win them, okay, because they have partners, and what they would do is that one of the partner would have the money and start to play, and then they would call you and show you how you can win, but then that is just a partnership. But then when they would give you their money to put on the board, and you would win. But even though you win, it is not your money, it is theirs. But when you put your money, then is when you are going to realize that you can't win. And every Christmas season we will have a number of persons coming around to the police body to make reports. So this is something that we are trying to get out there to the public. Do not participate in playing 3 cards. We normally have patrols in Kingston, but these guys, the police officers, and they would see them from afar because they have people on the lookout. Because it is a group of them, they have people on the lookout, and by the time you break one of the corner, they will whisper to their friends that police, and then when you get there, it's like nothing. You see nothing. Okay. So that also is what we are trying to get out there to the public. Do not participate in these.
People who report cases of abuse are being urged to follow through to the end with their reports. Director of the Gender Affairs Division, Olliver, said that too often persons report cases to the police and change their minds. She says that this cannot continue if the country is to be successful in its attempts to stamp out this social ill.
it's a dangerous thing to do, that when you would have gone to the police and the police would have done all they're supposed to do, then you pull back and say you're not going again. I would want persons to desist, women to desist, but men and women to desist from that and let the law take its course.
Residents in the Grenadines, specifically those in Beckway, have been seeking creative ways to overcome the challenges posed by climate change. This, as St. Vincent and the Grenadines continues to be impacted by climate variation in more severe ways. Deputy Director of Grenadines Affairs, Herman Belmar, says it is critical to note that persons will be placed in major difficulties if the country does not and cannot store the water it is trapping from rains, and there is not enough water to take persons through a prolonged drought.
And last 2013-2014 drought of that period was the worst possible one I've ever experienced. And that was more severe because if even CWSA had the water available in Kingston or around mainland St. Vincent, they could not get it to us. Because the barge that we used in previous years has since been sold, and there's no way of delivering water except by a 20-gallon drum or a 40-gallon drum, or you put a 1,000-gallon tank on the ferry and get it there, and then how you get it off the ferry is the next issue, and how to get it home after that becomes a major concern. Now the cost of doing that too is excessive, because if you can find somebody with more water on the island than they can use, and you need to get it to your home, that is the accessibility, it would cost you an average of $300 to get 1,000 gallons to the nearest point to your house, and then you have to put it in bottles and take it to the house if you have no other way of getting it there.
The SVG Bar Association will commence activities to mark Law Week on Monday, December 1st. The association says it has crafted an interesting series of events and activities to also celebrate the 25th anniversary of the formation of the OECS Bar Association. The events planned for the week include the 4th meeting of the OECS Bar Council on Saturday, December 6th, and delegates from Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica, Antigua, St. Kitts Nevis, Anguilla and Montserrat are expected here for the meeting. Other activities include a prayer breakfast for lawyers and their families and friends on Monday, December 1st, as well as a presentation by lawyer panel Campbell QC on his Law and You television program. Campbell will speak on the topic, the role of lawyers and the Bar Association in society. During the week, there will also be radio and television programs, as well as a pro bono day in all courts and participating chambers. That's on Wednesday, December 3rd. There will also be school visits by members of the Bar Association. The activities will end with a gala dinner and awards ceremony at the French Veranda on Saturday, December 6th. The Democratic Republican Party, the DRP of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will hold a town hall meeting with Vincentians in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, on Sunday, 30th November 2014. The meeting, which is being organized courtesy of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Montreal, will be held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall, St. Catherine, at 4 p.m. DRP leader Anicia Batiste is visiting Canada on invitation of Mayor Adami Aleiko of the Inuit village of Akulivik in northern Quebec. She's also being hosted by Old George Daniel of St. Vincent, who is a social worker in the Akulivik community for over 5 years.